it's Hannah. I'm blogging at tinyhomemaker.com. So it's Saturday night and I just got off of work and I was feeling kind of blah. So I decided to have a cute date with myself at home. I picked up a bottle of elderberry wine from Julie's, the all local wine store that we have here in town. Pretty cool. And I pulled out all of the Christmas gifts from the closet so that I can wrap them. But before I do, I figured I should procrastinate and make this video. So, as promised, I'm giving you a review / sneak peek of Lacey Losh's super cool new book, Libraries Around the World Coloring Book, creatively celebrating the joy of reading in every corner of the world. So adult coloring books are pretty cool, but little free libraries are even better. For those who don't know, those are tiny little structures that you will often see in parks, in front of people's yards, encouraging strangers to take a book, leave a book, or borrow a book. So, how did this book, combining my two favorite things, come into existence? Well, Lacey Losh, community organizer with a Lincoln, Nebraska-based nonprofit, Common Root, began learning about the mental health benefits of coloring for adults. Common Root held a free all-ages coloring event in their space, and it was a huge success and sparked the idea in Lacey's mind. Hey, so something new I've learned. Folks who have these little libraries, they're called stewards. Stewards. Lacey is a steward of her and her partner's own little library, and she reached out to other friends and stewards in other communities, and people got excited. Really, really excited. It went worldwide. There are libraries in this book from across the Midwest, US, and the ocean. This coloring book highlights some really, really cool ones and includes interesting stories or tidbits about each one. So some of the ones I think are super cool. On the 6th Street Library in Fenton, Michigan, there is a dog bone box attached to the side so your puppy can get in on the action. Chester would love that. One little library in St. Augustine, Florida, also acts as a recipe and seed exchange station. Hey, community gardens, here's an idea. This book also highlights the first little library in Mumbai, India. There's a ridiculous story about one in Napa Valley, California, about a little library that was accidentally stolen and returned. But you gotta read it, because what? Anyways, it's funny. It's great. The little library of Porticello, Italy, is in a fisherman's hamlet in front of the sea. There is the Cinto Avenue Library in Spokane Valley, Washington. It's made from an upcycled newspaper vending machine. I said this in a previous blog post, and I still mean it. I would love to use this book as a someday traveling guide, places to go, because each of these libraries are in amazing little communities, just waiting to be discovered. And the renderings are absolutely beautiful. Lacey used a combo of Photoshop filters, tracing capabilities in Illustrator, and tons of digital line art from scratch. She spent a minimum of 2 hours and upwards of 5 hours to recreate each little library. And there are so many little libraries in here. So, as most of you know, I'm building a tiny house. And I definitely plan on having a free little library with it. It's in my design plan, which I will share with you all soon. When I asked Lacey about thoughts on tiny houses or how tiny houses and little libraries relate, this is what she said. First of all, both encourage doing more with less. Lacey, I agree with you. Lacey says, if you can make efficient use of your space in a tiny home, libraries become one of the best free resources you can find if you're a reader. There's no need to store shelves full of books if you have an ever-evolving collection of great books in your little library or borrowed from a local public library. There is an aspect of alternative living styles, free culture, and community building in tiny home building and in little libraries as well. And I think she hit that pretty spot on. When the world is your bookshelf, then it's not so tiny. Anyways, to read her full interview, check out the text in this original blog post at tinyhomemaker.com. And in the meantime, check out the photos of my 2 favorite little libraries in this book. Enjoy. Thanks. Bye.